Welcome to Up to No Good. If you feel yourself getting defensive, reacting, and having difficulty with encountering ideas that make you feel conflicted, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you some simple ways to retrain your brain to argue less and learn more from those views you don't like and the people that have them. And before I go any further, I'm sure you're asking, well, why the hell would I want to do that? Well, because we're all locked on this planet together, whether we like it or not, and you might as well make some friends while you're here. So let's get into it. 1. Catch the warning sign. When we encounter a person, a thing, or an idea we disagree with, there's often an immediate physiological response. Increased heart rate, adrenaline dump, muscles tensing, rapid breathing. These are some of them. If you know what yours is, then you know it when it comes on. And if you know what your warning sign is, then you can shift your awareness from what's happening outside of you to what's going on inside of you. When you do this, you can interrupt the reaction or the response to whatever's going on outside of you. So when you notice this is happening in your body, and a lot of times it's instinctive, you don't even think about it, but you have to catch it in the moment. Take a pause, and then take a deep breath, and hold. The next part is key. Name it. Internally, go inside and understand what's happening in your body and mind, and give it a name. Naming it gives it identity, and it makes it easier to detect in the future when it happens. This allows you to stop for a moment and identify what's going on within you. And then from there, you get the choice of how you want to respond, rather than just instinctively reacting to whatever's happening. 2. Separate you from the idea. When we make an idea part of our identity, we naturally feel inclined to defend it. We actually react to defend it because we've coupled our sense of self with the idea. And so when this thing comes under attack, we feel as if we are under attack because we are part of the idea and the idea is part of our identity. And we use this defensiveness to protect our identity and shield it from attack. But when you take a moment to think about it, you're not your ideas. Your ideas are part of who you are, but the ideas aren't you. You can choose your ideas. You can modify them. You can update them. That doesn't change who you are. Just in the same way, holding the wrong idea doesn't make you wrong. If the idea changes, that's fine. That's actually good. It can be a sign of growth. If we hold on to an idea that's wrong, outdated, or no longer useful, our minds end up stagnating on the subject, and our identity becomes brittle because of the flaws in the idea that we've coupled with our identity. So it's a good idea to always separate the idea from you and be able to analyze the idea from your own perspective and understand if it does have any flaws or weaknesses. Understand if it does need to be updated or modified, or if it's even still useful to you. You can do this by gauging or measuring the certainty of the idea. Are you 30% certain or 70% certain that the idea is correct? When you assess an idea this way, you're probably never going to reach that 100% certainty mark, which lets you know that there's always a margin for error. And that's okay. 3. Clarify before responding. Most conversations that go sideways and become disagreements happen because of miscommunication or misunderstanding. Most of this can be easily avoided with just clarifying. Asking someone, "What did you mean by that?" clarifies the term and the idea, and it also sets the conversation off on mutual understanding. Because if you're both coming at it from the same perspective, where you both have the same understanding of meaning, then it's easier for you all to mutually agree on the terms of the conversation. Conversations are much more effective when the people engaged in them have a mutual understanding and an agreement about what they're talking about, rather than talking past one another, all while trying to prove a point, but both people are holding different ideas in their mind about what the other person is saying. Asking someone, "How did you get to that conclusion?" allows them to walk you through their experiences, their logic, or their thought process to show you how they went from A to B and what it took for them to get to the understanding that they have. And vice versa, you can do the same thing and show them how you got to your conclusion and your viewpoint of things. When we do this with one another, we can see any gaps or missing pieces in the logic or our own understanding in regards to the conversation we're having. And if we do this together, this can become a collaborative effort that we use to expand one another's ideas. Asking someone something like, "What would it take to change your mind?" is an absolute game changer. Asking someone this upfront lets them know that you're willing to test the flexibility of their ideas. Since minds can be tough and defensive to deal with sometimes, this lets the other person know upfront that you're interested in the possibility of testing the flexibility of their ideas. And it also lets you know if it's even worth trying to test the flexibility. You can still go through the clarification and explanation, but you could then just leave it at that. You don't have to push any further or try to change their mind. Not everybody's mind needs to be changed, but it's good to know when you're in conversation with someone about a serious topic if that's even a possibility and what it would take to see that happen. You can ask this of yourself as well to see how flexible you are and what your willingness is towards having your own mind changed. If you choose, you can search out that information and see if it changes your mind or how it stacks up compared to your current understanding of things, or if it fills in any gaps in your thought process or your awareness that were previously blind spots. All this is going to do is make you more aware and more well-read. And asking someone about the flexibility of their mind and understanding the flexibility of your own is really useful in topics that have a lot of emotional charge to them. Things like politics, culture, worldviews, religion, things of this nature that people tend to be a bit more rigid on. It's good to understand how rigid and how flexible they are. 4. Steelman. Now, for this one, you have to become Superman. Just kidding. Steelmanning is the process of repeating somebody's idea back to them in your own wording in a way that they could say, "Yes, that's what I'm saying." It's a way that you both can start the conversation off on mutual understanding, which Superman doesn't need to do because he can read minds. Fun fact for you, go look that up, as if he didn't have enough power. But repeating the point back to them, it does two important things. It starts the conversation off on mutual understanding, and it also creates a standard for yourself where you can't engage in the conversation if you don't understand it. Because if you can't summarize it back to them, then you don't fully understand it, and therefore you're starting in a place of misunderstanding. When you do this effectively, it lowers the other person's defenses, it builds understanding, and it displays comprehension. And this can be done simply, even in the middle of conversation, by throwing things in like, "Now, correct me if I'm wrong," or "Am I understanding this correctly?" Or even something like, "What I'm hearing you say is, insert whatever, is that correct?" 5. Explore your ideas totally. It's fair to assume that you like your ideas, and you probably don't like them being challenged. But in order to understand your ideas fully, that means looking at them from multiple perspectives. Look at the affirmative arguments for what you believe in, the things that support or say you're right. Also look at the criticisms or the things that say there are flaws here or this doesn't make sense. This allows you to better understand the idea itself, and then it also allows you to be prepared for any sort of criticisms that could come your way pertaining to the idea. And if you've already thought of it, then you could simply say, "Yeah, I've already thought of that, and I'm still thinking on it. I'm not really decided on what I think about that part of it yet." This prevents you from having to defend the idea. And exploring the idea from multiple different perspectives keeps you from getting locked in an echo chamber. It's like a fire escape door, but for your mind. And just to clarify, I'm not saying you take up rage bait and follow people whose rhetoric infuriates you. Pick some serious choices. Not engagement farmers and not dunk-style debaters. One of the best insights I've found in my life to not stay married to my ideas, to not get defensive when they're questioned, and to not end up in an echo chamber is to set my sights on truth, clarity, and honesty. If I make truth my goal, then I can always adapt and modify my ideas to help me get closer to seeing reality with more clarity. I can always expand my awareness, and with it, my understanding. And so can you. Until next time, always stay up to no good.